What's good, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Callouts TV. This is your boy, John. We about to get into this video reaction. K-Flock's lawyer reveals new details about K-Flock's case. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We on the way to 9K. And don't forget to go over to my boy Demon Cam and run the numbers up for him too. He definitely does great content over here.
I shot the K-Flock's lawyer before. What's good, y'all? We back with another video. I shot the K-Flock's lawyer before we get into this. You feel me? He provided us with an update. He actually runs a podcast, and if y'all want to watch the full podcast, it's in the description. Y'all can go watch that. But the K-Flock part, I'm gonna put in this video.
K-Flock's lawyer got a podcast. God damn, everybody got podcasts now. You got these drill rappers now. You know what I'm saying? They turned into podcasters. This shit different now, man. I remember at one point in time when these drill rappers and these other rappers was dissing the bloggers and shit. Now they trying to get into the podcasting game. That shit crazy.
I'm gonna give y'all the main part.
Isn't there an attorney that's on YouTube that he breaks down famous cases and shit like that? I don't think that's K-Flock's lawyer though. It's another white boy. If y'all know who I'm talking about, drop his name in the comment section.
In just a few moments, and then I'm going to give y'all the rest of him talking about the case at the end. But the main part I want to talk about is this.
Now, I'm going to shift gears a bit to a client I'm representing. I get a lot of emails from people regarding a client.
This is El Chapo's lawyer, y'all, that's representing K-Flock. Those of you that know, y'all know.
And I have named K-Flock. He is a young rapper from...
It's at the end. But the main part I want to talk about is this.
Now, I'm going to shift gears a bit to a client I'm representing. I get a lot of emails from people regarding a client I have named K-Flock. He is a young rapper from the Bronx who's been in jail for over 6 months on a murder charge. The case has been moving slowly, entirely due to the amount of discovery. That means the evidence, potential evidence, anything that the government, that the state is doing to investigate the crime, but they have to turn that stuff over. That's what discovery is. And it's a simple case on paper. There was a shooting in broad daylight in Upper Manhattan. K-Flock, his real name is Kevin Perez, is accused of shooting somebody. And according to the evidence, the victim had a loaded gun in his pocket with his hand in his pocket, presumably on the gun. I mean, the gun was in there, and was charging towards who the...
Wow. The victim had a loaded gun in his pocket. He said that he was charging towards K-Flock. K-Flock might be able to beat this shit, y'all. Y'all get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think. But his lawyer said that this shit is going to drag out. It's going to take some time, man.
The state claims was K-Flock when he was shot himself. In his pocket, the evidence, the victim had a loaded gun in his pocket with his hand in his pocket, presumably on the gun. I mean, the gun was in there, and was charging towards who the state claims was K-Flock when he was shot himself, the victim. But there's a ton of discovery being provided as to what occurred in the days before and even after the shooting, because a police investigation doesn't always just investigate the crime itself, but what caused it, especially in a case which so clearly the shooting is, according to the state, is a product of self-defense by the defendant, who they claim the shooter is.
Via K-Flock's lawyer, he said that the victim that passed away did have a gun on him at the time that he passed away, and that just gives K-Flock a better reason for him to do what he had to do. Allegedly, if you're a K-Flock fan, this is good news. I know New York does have the best self-defense laws.
I just feel, saying he's still, being that, New York doesn't have the best self-defense laws. But now that they just passed this new law, I don't know. It might could work in K-Flock's favor. You know what I'm saying? Because, New York has the toughest and strictest gun laws in the country, man. So even though he was defending himself, they still look at it like, he was supposed to call 911. Even though his life was on the line, which sounds crazy. This is why Albany and them, they passed the law for people to, walk around and protect themselves, man, because anything could happen. Just like that. Police can't get there in time, man. You already laid out in the streets with your fucking brains leaking. But if you had a pistol on you and you was able to defend yourself, like all these other southern states do with the open and carry, Texas, Florida, Atlanta, they have the right to protect themselves. And we should too, especially, man, we live in New York is the number one media market in the world. It's the largest, New York has the largest police force in the world. So a lot of people be like, oh, New York is not as dangerous as Chirac. That's because Chirac don't got to worry about the gun boys hopping out on them, patting them down, frisking them up and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't got to worry about shit like that, man. You know, they don't have a large police force like we do. So it's easy for them to get away with homicides and shit like that.
At all. Terrible laws. It's going to be super hard for this case if he did do it, allegedly, but he has one of the best lawyers. And I just think the most important...
He's still going to have to sit up. You know what I mean? They going, you know, they going to get the time that he's been on the island now. They're going to credit his time. But he's still going to have to sit up, man, for that gun, man. He might not have to do 25 years, but he might get 10 years. We got to see what happens, though.
Part and something that I know a lot of K-Flock fans are looking for updates in this case. It's been super quiet. It's been super sealed. I know people, every time K-Flock goes to court, they're posting, oh, K-Flock's going to court. Oh, his bail got remanded. So people are looking super close to this case and super detailed. Again, shout out his lawyer for giving this update. And I think this is a big update. You feel me? We didn't know if the victim of this...
K-Flock, allegedly, they say that it's K-Flock. But whoever that was behind that mask, if they didn't do what they had to do, you know what I'm saying, they would have been a part of the obituary. They would have been in the back of that hearse with the closed curtains. That person's family would have been crying and shedding tears over their casket while they're laying down with their arms crossed, looking GQ'd up, seeing them for the very last time. That person, whoever was behind that mask, they did what they had to do, man. But because that person has the same build as K-Flock and wear the same type of drip that K-Flock, they assuming that that's K-Flock. You know what I mean? So, you know, he got to pay the attorney. You know, his label made sure they invested a lot in this dude. Now, if he's able to beat this case and not have to do no jail time, K-Flock, it's going to be the biggest thing in the city since Pop Smoke. He's going to have that kind of buzz, bro. I'm telling you.
Crime, the person that allegedly K-Flock shot, he ended up passing away. We didn't know if he had a gun on him or what was happening. All we seen was him having his hands in his pocket. We can only assume that he had something in his pocket, but now it's been confirmed by K-Flock's lawyer that's super close in this case, hands-on with this case, has confirmed that the victim of this crime did carry a weapon on him at the time that he passed away, and could be a big reason why K-Flock acted the way he acted, allegedly, and one of the big reasons why K-Flock did what he had to do to protect him.
That person was walking by the barbershop with a shorty. A homeboy felt that he was Superman, and he came out aggressively with his hand in his pocket, and dude, whoever he was behind that mask, he wasn't taking no chances, bro. He saw son approaching him, and he got the flocking, man. Son lost his life, you know what I mean? It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Himself and protect his brand. And again, we got to remember that K-Flock was walking past the barbershop that day, and he wasn't looking for anything. He could have been talking and doing whatever, but he was never the aggressor. He tried to walk away from it, and the victim of this unfortunate case. And
dude figured he run down on K-Flock and get some clout for it and post it on social media. And if he would have did some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, that shit wouldn't have been a good look for K-Flock's career, man. That's what he was looking to do. He was looking to try to embarrass K-Flock, man. K-Flock, of him pressing K-Flock, and if that was K-Flock, he wasn't having it, man. He set that nigga up to the Lord.
And that passed away. He was the one that walked outside and was the aggressor towards K-Flock, walking towards him while K-Flock was walking away. Unfortunate that he had to lose his life, rest in peace to that man, but free K Flock. And he also said something about, I think, the victim shooting himself or something like that. I don't know. I tried to play that back a couple times. I don't know how he would shoot himself, because I think the victim of this, he ended up getting shot in the chest and the neck. I don't know how you shoot yourself twice on accident. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what he was talking about. And the other part of the podcast where he talks about K Flock that I'm gonna put at the end of this, it's gonna be him basically talking about how the K Flock case is going so slow because the state is trying to hide these witnesses. Because if you don't know, the reason King Vaughn, the person that K Flock looked up to, the reason he got away with his murder charges was because the witnesses didn't show up. There's a lot of witnesses in this case because it was done in broad daylight. It was done in New York. There's a lot of witnesses involved, and they're hiding every single one of them from the defendant, from K Flock's lawyer, because I think the state thinks that K Flock's going to do something with them, pay them off, or threaten them, or do whatever, do what they got to do to make sure they don't show up at court. But K Flock's lawyer is basically trying to say, if I don't know the witnesses, how am I supposed to prepare a defense for them? Everything's supposed to be on the table when you go to trial. There's supposed to be, hey, I know what's going on with here.
Right.
I know what witnesses here. I know what evidence is about to be prepared. I got a defense for that. They got to prepare when they go to trial. It's going to be a back and forth, basically. If they don't know the witness.
Tell you the truth, I don't even think they got no credible witnesses, man, because they would have been had this shit. They would have had this shit go to trial already, man. This shit, he shouldn't have been sitting this long, man. If they had if the state had credible sources, man, this shit would have been, they would have been speeded this process up already.
This is how they're supposed to prepare for it. And what K Flock's lawyers, again, just trying to say is they don't know the credibility of the witnesses. If it's just old boys that passed away, old boys.
They just want to they know they don't really got no credible witnesses. They just want to make K Flock sit on the island, sweat it out, hope he talking to somebody in there about his case, and that's probably a way how they could try to wrap him up. But other than that, man, I don't really think they got nothing on Homeboy, man.
Friend, of course, he's gonna say K Flock did it. He did it in broad daylight. They could be lying for his homeboy just so K Flock can get found guilty, or they're trying to get him found guilty. And I think this is another case of a big time rapper, a guy that has a lot of potential to make a lot of money and made it out of poverty, made it out of the Bronx, one of the toughest boroughs in New York, and has found a way out. And it just seems like the state and the legal system just wants to keep bringing him down. They're trying to keep him behind bars as much as they can, slowing down this case, just so if they have to take it to trial, it'll be like, hey, he's found not guilty, so he wasted 2 years of his life or a year of his life just sitting in jail.
Just like they did with GS9 and them. Bobby Smurder and Rowdy Rebel and the GS9 got caught up in them indictments and shit, bro. And they got sentenced and shit. That wasted a lot of their time, man. That's when they had the most buzz. When Bobby came out with Hot Nigga, and then Rowdy and Bobby followed up with Computers and shit like that. Man, son, those was the prime years, man, where they got wrapped up, the whole GS9, man. And now you see Bobby and them, they come home now 6 years later, and he's not the same, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like more like painting this zesty and mookish type of image now. Bobby is no longer the same. Rowdy, I give Rowdy a little credit. He came out with some street bangers. He just got his recent hit with the Young Boys. He giving them some buzz, 41. But other than that, man, they not really the same. Bobby will never be the same again, man. Because him sitting in jail all them years, during his prime years, music has changed now. It's more advanced. And Bobby is not able to adapt. You know what I'm saying? He had one really, really good hit, which was Hot Nigga and Computers, and those are like music, those are songs that people will continue to play forever. That's longevity, long-lasting music. People gonna always play that type of music, especially if you're from Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't see Bobby topping the billboards like that, you know what I'm saying? I don't. And the same shit gonna happen with Flock. He gonna be sitting up for all these years, come home and the music is gonna change, because you see drill music is fading away now. With all the top young gunner niggas locked up. All the niggas that was making a name for this Bronx drill shit, they locked up. D-Thing, K-Fly, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on, man. Lee Drilly, a lot of niggas is done, man. They caught up in these gang indictments, and by the time they come home, it's gonna be a whole different new wave, man.
Of a crime they didn't do. That's what I think the state and big time they're trying for his homeboy, just so K Flock can get found guilty, or they're trying to get him found guilty. And I think this is another case of a big time rapper, a guy that has a lot of potential to make a lot of money and made it out of poverty, made it out of the Bronx, one of the toughest boroughs in New York, and has found a way out. And it just seems like the state and the legal system just wants to keep bringing him down. They're trying to keep him behind bars as much as they can, slowing down this case, just so if they have to take it to trial, it'll be like, hey, he's found not guilty, so he wasted 2 years of his life or a year of his life just sitting in jail of a crime they didn't do. That's what I think the state's doing right now. It just seems super desperate from them. Why are you hiding the witnesses from the defense? I feel like if you take the trial, all the witnesses should be on the table. We should be able to know whose witnesses, not us as the fans or nothing. I just think the defense, K Flock's team, and his lawyers should know what's going on in this case. And it's just crazy, man. I don't know how you can do this. How can a state do this? It just seems crazy to me. But hey, man, that's the legal system for you. That's where our taxes go. This corrupt system. And it's just crazy, man. You feel me? Free K Flock. Again, shout out K Flock's lawyer for giving us this little update. I appreciate it, because you feel me? I'm super confused on why K Flock's still locked up. I feel like he's innocent. You feel me? Free K Flock. But I'm gonna get up through. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Keep doing y'all. Keep doing me. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Good.
So that means plenty of witnesses are spoken to by the police.
What do you want?
Alright, so this is K Flock's lawyer. After this commercial shit, I'm gonna skip.
Want a job that I don't hate.
People who allegedly spoke to K Flock and who could testify in the case against people.
Good.
So that means plenty of witnesses are spoken to by the police. People who allegedly spoke.
This is K Flock's lawyer, y'all, giving an update. El Chapo's lawyer is representing K Flock in this murder case, man.
To K Flock and who could testify in the case against them. All these people were interviewed, dozens. People who were present during the shooting, friends of the armed victim. Sometimes these people have criminal records. We don't know who or who is not going to be an actual witness in the case. But what's become clear in the last couple of court appearances is that the state doesn't want to turn over the names of these people, or even let us see their faces in videos if they were captured at the scene. Faces are blacked out, the big block redacted. The armed victim was shot. There are people that saw it. We're not allowed to even find out their names or see what they look like. So how do you defend a case like this, you're asking?
You know K Flock lawyer gonna wanna drill the shit out of them so-called witnesses, man. That's why he want their information, man, but the state will not release the credible witnesses' information, man. So it's more or less like a waiting game, man. We just gonna have to wait it out and see what happens.
Asking. The state gets to speak to all the witnesses about who they claim what they saw. They're allowed to speak and what did you see, what did you see, what did you see, and then they decide who to put on the stand. The defense gets no opportunity to investigate the case. We can't speak to these witnesses. They're not going to speak to us. We don't even know who they are. So we just show up at trial and start examining witnesses after the state has spent hours and hours prepping them for their testimony. We can't look into their past, the witnesses, because we don't know their names. We can't even identify them. You know, how can we tell if they're lying on the stand if we know?
This is a messy case, y'all. This shit gonna drag out for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised, shit. K Flock might be sitting up on the island for another year and a half or two. I could see that.
Nothing about their lives, their histories. We have to rely on the state to give us helpful information when we know full well that's counterintuitive to their desire to win a trial.
Right.
And I want to make clear, I'm not suggesting for a second that the prosecutor in this case is dishonest, because he's not. I mean, he's actually a wonderful prosecutor. He's very fair, and he's handled the case, I think, really impeccably. He's been very decent. But the history of prosecutorial fairness.
He letting K-Flock lawyers letting y'all know. He's not saying it literally, but you gotta read between the lines. He has a good relationship with the prosecutor. He knows the prosecutor very, very well, y'all. They be going out, having drinks, getting saucy, taking vacations together. That's why it's very important. When you tied up in a murder charge, the best way to beat it, man, is with a paid lawyer, man. You ain't gonna beat, and I'm not talking about no $500 lawyer. That's not gonna do it. See, these lawyers right here, man, that cost like $400 an hour, $500 an hour, man, they take their time. They study these cases. They went to the best Ivy League schools, man. They know all the loopholes, man. They know the law inside out. They have relationships with these prosecutors, man. Y'all heard what he said, that the prosecutor is a pretty fair person.
When it comes to disclosing helpful evidence to the defense in New York has not exactly been great recently in federal and state courts. Not of late. Now, the law does allow the state to ask a court for a protective order to prevent the information, the evidence, from going to the defense if there's a, quote, risk of intimidation, harassment, unjustified annoyance, or embarrassment to any individual. That's the law. But the law also embodies, quote, I'm quoting, a presumption of openness.
Yo, pardon the noise, y'all. They doing some construction shit in the building, man. But this video is almost over.
As well as a presumption in favor of disclosure to the defense. There can be a middle ground, too, which could delay the disclosure of discoverable materials or restrict disclosure to defense counsel only. I would agree to that. Just give it to us. We don't have to show it to the client or anyone else. Just give it to the lawyers so we can actually investigate the case ourselves. So they're making a motion for this protective order, and it will be filed shortly.
That's crazy, though. K-Flock lawyer is capitalizing off of this shit like a motherfucker. Homeboy went and started him a podcast, y'all. So y'all talk about us bloggers be clout chasing, nigga. Everybody wants to be a part of something, nigga, nowadays, man. We in the social media, man. If you're not in it for the money and the clout, then you're just wasting your time, man. He trying to get clout off of this shit, too, man. And he gonna get clout, especially if he win this case. Every celebrity rapper that get caught, male rapper that get caught up in a murder charge, some shit, he's gonna be the top go-to attorney, man. You know what I mean? Just like how Johnny Cochran was. You know what I'm saying? He came up with that theory, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. And he acquitted OJ, and he was the hottest attorney in the world, man. After that, he became a superstar. So this shit right here is crazy, man.
And I will vigorously oppose it, because we actually want to win the case. We're not here just to get our asses kicked. I'm not sure what the basis will be to claim that witnesses or anyone that was even spoken to during the investigation are at risk or going to be intimidated or annoyed. K. Flock has been in jail for months and can't do a thing. What people say and do on the internet, it's not our responsibility, and it's not like anyone even knows who these witnesses are anyway. We're not going to hand them out to the public. We just want fairness, that's all. You got a 19-year-old kid here, he turned 19 in jail in April. His life is at stake.
Yeah.
He faces potentially the rest of his life in jail. And all we want is a fair trial. That's it. Just a fair trial.
He turned 19 in jail, man. Wasting his life away. Y'all get in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, man. That like button is very important. That's how we get these videos out. The like button don't cost you nothing.
Nothing more, nothing less. And I've gotten to know him, his mother, his management. These are real people who care about him, who genuinely care about him. And Kevin, K. Flock, is a quiet kid, believe it or not. He's a gentle kid, believe it or not. I know you're saying, well, come on, you're a defense lawyer, and he's charged with a serious crime. But listen, I see how he is since I've met him. This is a polite, decent kid. To me, he's not some crazy lunatic. I think he's innocent, and we're going to take it to trial, and we're going to prove it. And anything they can do to try to stop us from getting evidence, well, we're going to fight it to the end.
Wow, he said we're gonna take it to trial and we're gonna prove it, man. This is a good one, man. Shout out to my boy Demon Cam. Don't forget to go over there and run the numbers up. He on the way to AK. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. This is your boy Callouts TV, man, and we definitely gonna have more content on the way.